Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Una. So, first of all, I want to give a big shout out to everybody who's an entrepreneur in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic. You are really brave, really brave, really unique times we find ourselves in. But I believe that we can do what it takes to eventually come out of this and say, I never want to see another pandemic again. But this worked out great for us, right? So, lots of, different times we live in, but, together we can work this out. Now, if you haven't met me before, I am a pediatrician. I'm the CEO of my own practice, Ivy League Pediatrics. We've been in practice for 10 years. And I am the founder of EntreMD. And what I do there is I help physician entrepreneurs build profitable businesses so they can live life and practice medicine on their own terms. Now, today, I wanted to kind of shed some light on a way of looking at what is going on, especially if you're in private practice, right? Volumes are down across the nation. People don't really want to come out to do anything. A lot of us don't have enough stuff to protect ourselves with. So it's just different. And overall revenues are down and unemployment is up and all of these things. They're like, yay, we're going to get some PPP money, and that's a forgivable loan. And, in a week or so, the money runs out. And, it's just, it is what it is. So, but when you're thinking of strategies of what you can do for your practice, I really want you to think of it in two broad terms so that way you're doing both things. So I've heard two quotes I found very amusing, but it's true. You'll see quotes that say the best form of offense is defense. And then you see other quotes that say the best form of defense is offense. And they're both true. And so in your business, you want to make sure you're doing both. You don't want to do offense and leave out defense. I don't want to do defense and leave out offense. And I'm going to kind of play around with what that could look like. So your defensive strategies would look something like, apply for your PPP loan and apply for your SBA loans, low interest rates and all that stuff. So you have that extra money. It may be look like dehiring some of your staff because you can't keep everybody on. Even though we're doing our best to do what we can do for our staff. It may also look like you have vendors. If you're in pediatrics like us, your vaccine bill is a huge bill. And, some of us have reached out and some companies have said, okay, we'll hold it for X amount of time and stuff like that. So that's defensive, right? Some have reached out to landlords and said, hey, some people have given as much as 3 months, like, okay, we'll hold it for you. You can negotiate that through. If they say we have no interest, you're like, if I'm not here, you're not going to get anything at all. So work with me. But people have done that. If you own your own building, there are many mortgage companies that have said, okay, we'll just, we'll give you a 3-month break and then we'll get back to it. So those are all great. But remember, they're all defensive. So if that's the only thing you're doing, you're leaving out offense, which is your best defense, according to the quote. So do this, but the second part is your offense, right? This is you, what you're doing to cause your practice to grow or your volumes to grow in spite of what is going on. So what that could look like, it could look like email marketing. Okay, now when I say marketing, please don't get goosebumps. I know it's not a term we like to use, but we're businesses, right? We're businesses. So think about, maybe you have a practice and you have all these emails and you've never used them, you've never sent out a mass email, maybe you don't know what MailChimp, ConvertKit, any of those words mean, or maybe your EHR does it, some do that, but you've never done that. I want to let you know that your patients want to hear you. They've never experienced anything like this. Some people are having new babies in the midst of this. Some are having new complications in their health in the midst of this. They need to know, and they don't know what you're doing. They don't know that you've changed your practice so no sick people are coming in. They don't know that you have strict protocols to make sure that they don't have COVID exposure. They don't know that you're no longer using your waiting room, that people are going from their car directly into the waiting room, getting taken care of and going away. They don't know you've added telemedicine. They don't know any of this, right? Now, if you are able to get your message across, chances are you would have more telemedicine visits. Chances are you have children who need vaccines, who can go like, oh, if that's what they're doing, I can come into the office. So If you are not sending out weekly emails, that's a lost opportunity that you can switch and fix that today. And you can start sending that out to let them know this is what we're doing. I think everybody, well, let me not say everybody, a lot of people had a rude shock because they're like, yay, we can do telemedicine. I'm going to tell my parents, I'm going to put it on my website, and my phone's not going to stop ringing. And then we did it, and the phone wasn't ringing. And a lot of people don't know what like a lot of people don't know what that means. You're the one that's going to have to say, oh, it's like being on FaceTime with your doctor. It's like a video call with your doctor. And, yes, we won't be able to touch you, but we can take care of a lot of things that way. And really for a lot of patients, they're at home with expired medication or no medication. They'd rather do that than come in. So it is a disservice to not let them know. So if you're doing that, you have to tell them, you have to explain it, you have to do all that. So weekly emails, and it will make your volumes better. It really will. Social media, maybe you haven't used it. I'm not saying go binge on social media or anything like that, but communicate. Even if people are not clicking as much and liking as much and commenting as much, I can assure you they are seeing it. Okay, they are seeing what you do. So you want to do that. And if you have someone young in your practice, I mean, there's so much downtime. Let them do it. Okay, but you have to feature though. They want to see the doctor. You have to feature some kind of way. And then the third thing that you want to do, which I think is the biggest of them all, is you have to hit the phones. Now, I don't mean you personally. This can be your staff. So you might need to repurpose your staff. Maybe you have people in the office twiddling their thumbs. You have a whole database of patients. Let them call, and you can prioritize that list. This is allergy season, prime time for allergies, asthma, eczema, the whole 9 yard. You have patients that have that. Let them call them. Let them do like, hey, yeah, but I don't really want to come in. Oh, you didn't know Dr. Greg is now doing telemedicine visits? You don't have to come in. We'll come to you. We'll see you from the comfort of your home, and your insurance covers this. I mean, like, so those are the conversations that you can start having. But if you're not talking, if nobody's getting on the phone, they don't know that. So there's downtime. You have staff that don't have much to do. Don't let them just do non-revenue generating activities, right? Send the faxes, clean out this place, do the spring cleaning, let them do all of that. But let them also do things that will bring patients in. And you might say, I don't really want to bother people. If they need me, they'll call. No. I've had people go like, they get on the phone, they're asking my staff, how is it out there? I mean, like, we want them to stay at home and social distancing the whole night, but like, how is it out there? I'm like, okay, like, sounds like it's a war zone out there. So I've talked to people who are using grandma's albuterol. I've talked to people who've been using expired albuterol. I've talked to people who have moderately persistent asthma who have no medication. I mean, like, they're not coming out. It's our time to reach out to them. And the beautiful thing about doing that is if you'll do it now, you build so much goodwill that, oh my gosh, once it's time for our volumes to go up, you've positioned yourself in their heart as the person who cared for them when they were trying to navigate all the craziness of the times that we live in. So I guess the reason why I recorded this video is just to let you know that you kind of want to look at your strategy again. And of course, we're in times when you should look at strategy all the time, but look at your strategy again and say, what am I doing that's defensive? And what am I doing that is offensive? And make sure that you're doing both, okay? Because we want to do the defense part, protect our cash flow and all that stuff, but we also want to do the offense and bring revenue coming in and taking care of our patients. So of course, I'm coming from the revenue angle because we're talking about the business piece, but at the core of it is patient care. So all right. And if there are other defensive and offensive strategies that you're using, post them in the comments. Let's have a conversation about this. But I believe together we rise. I believe that we can survive this and thrive in spite of this, but we're going to have to pivot. We're going to have to do things we've never done before. We're going to have to stay out of our comfort zone. We're going to have to be really flexible. But this too shall pass. So for everybody else in the front lines, I just want to say thank you, praying for your safety and praying that you stay healthy in the midst of all of this as you faithfully take care of your parents, your patients, and let's do this. All right, so I'll see you guys later. Let me know what you're doing.